He says.
I have not.
It's a short break there. The cameraman's boozing.
Boozing.
Welcome to the EMBN show, and what a week it has been. Myself and Don have continued on our European tour, but we popped home for a couple of days just to sample the rain. Having done that, we decided to take it a step further, and we've come to Italy, to Sanremo, where the rain outside is absolutely howling.
Well, it's the Riviera, isn't it? It's known for its rain. But over the last few days, it's been a lot better than actually. We've ridden with several world champions, and those videos will be coming very soon.
Yeah. So we've been in France just before we got here, and as usual, France seems to be several steps ahead when it comes to two wheels. I think the acceptance of e-bikes has actually quite advanced to some other countries out there, right?
It's definitely like an enthusiastic attitude rather than pessimistic, and it's been really enjoyable. I think there's a real understanding here.
Yeah, totally. So here we are in Hotel Anturium in San Stefano al Mare. It's actually kind of banging on the windows outside
Windy
there.
out here.
It's bonkers. So enough of where we're at and stuff like that. The big news this week is the feedback we've been having from you guys. It's been absolutely amazing. Keep it all coming. Great stuff.
Also, other news in the e-mountain bike world. We talked about Sam Pilgrim last week, the Freeride Pro turned into a high bike. We're actually seeing Julian Absalon, the 5-time world champion, 2-time Olympic cross-country champion, riding for BMC for cross-country, but he's also signed to Moustache Bikes, the French brand, to ride e-bikes. Yeah. So that's something I probably wouldn't expect to see a pro cross-country like that.
So talking about world champions, like you said, we visited Nico Vouilloz in the hills north of Nice a few days ago, which I guess brings us along quite nicely to the first part of the show, which is who rides an e-mountain bike? Nico Vouilloz. He began racing downhill in the early 90s.
Yeah.
First World Cup win, not far from here, just down over there, 1993.
Cap d'Aille.
Cap d'Aille. You went on to win 10 World Championship titles downhill, 5 World Cup Series wins, 16 race wins.
It's okay.
Then you went on to race Enduro World Series. You've raced rally cars, you've done everything. Why do you ride an e-mountain bike?
Well, I think if I well remember, I just fall in love when I come back from an injury, and I tried the first time and I say, ooh, it's the exact toy I want to have, because I can play in uphill. I like trails, I like going down, but I also like the technical uphill things. And if I want to be to sweat and to push, I just try to climb the steepest things. Yeah. And in downhill, I just forget that I have an e-bike. It just became natural and fun. So for me, and people who like riding down or technical stuff, it's the right tool.
Who do you go riding e-bikes with? Do you go with your wife? Do you go with your dad? Who do you go? Do you go with Luca, your son?
Yeah, exactly. I bring my child with me. He has one, and now we can have fun in a trail. So I just ride a smaller, lower mode. And with my wife, my dad biked one as well. So it's really friendly bike, and it's really made for everyone. And why I like it, because it just brings more people into the forest. And for me, it's so nice when you have fun into the trail that people discover your passion, and it's great for what we like.
And what about have you come across any I mean, it seems to me that down here in France you're quite ahead of like the UK. So have you had any negativity in the past? There seems to be less negativity.
Yeah, we had, but at the end it's people who never try. When you try, okay, you can maybe say, no, it's not for me, but you are less negative because you can see how fun it is. And of course you can say, oh, the problem is that when you try it, you fall in love. Yeah. And it's not good for the regular bike. I think there is no competition between both categories. Just if you are shuttling or if you really like the effort, you go for a regular bike. But just e-bike open.
It seems to be that down here in the south of France, you seem to have gone through a transition into the next stage of e-bikes, right?
Yeah, we are going, and now people, when we cross into the trail, in the past it's an e-bike, or you pat them in uphill, lazy, and then now they are looking you, you have an e-bike, my next buy will be that. So it's a good move, and I think just we just love ride bikes.
So things are moving ahead.
Yeah.
Cool.
True.
Thanks, Nico. Wow, Dom, riding with Nico Vouilloz, that was quite an experience, right?
It was absolutely amazing. I've got to say, I was a bit of a fanboy. Well, actually, I was more of a Steve Peat man back in the day, but Nico Vouilloz, the alien, as he's known, is still the alien because his skills on a mountain bike don't seem to have dwindled at all. And seeing him ride an e-bike, he's just absolutely flying. Even his trial skills were incredible. So yeah, get ready to see those videos coming shortly.
Yeah, I tell you what as well, we saw Fabian Brel, also a world downhill champion, and he actually said himself that he cannot handle going out with Nico anymore because he still rides at 100%.
100%, all day, every day.
Yeah, so the Don, e-bike convert of the week?
Well, it's got to be Nico, sure.
Got to be Nico Vouilloz.
Right, we've got some brilliant comments this week, actually loads of comments. So I'm afraid we haven't had time to reply to all of them.
We've
been
had
away.
truckloads
Having
of
a great
comments.
time, by the way. The Gibbs74 says, I think it's absolutely disgusting. I think we've got a hater here. But actually he's talking about the beer. He should have had a proper head on it. That's correct, that's very good.
Dead right, good call. Bloody good call.
Ben Kilgallen says, I've never tried an e-bike, but I'm optimistic.
Yeah, I mean, there's another guy here, Sitonka. I've watched all the EMBN vids, and I really don't want to start wanting an e-bike. Oh, come on, just get on with it, don't be scared.
I know the feeling though, I used to be a terrible pessimist. When 29ers came along, I was like, that BS can stay away, because I'm riding my 26er for life. And then I've mellowed a little bit as I've grown older and I've tried these things.
The Don has mellowed?
I've even tried fat bikes. There's plenty of things I enjoy doing now.
Well, that's nice, Don. That's nice to hear. You know?
Thank you.
It's nice to hear that. Yeah.
Jelly Beans has been on. He went to his local bike shop today and took out an e-bike for a spin. Wow, that was fun! 2 exclamation marks. It's got the cogs turning now.
That's not Jelly Bean.
Probably not. No, we do know Jelly Bean, don't we?
Okay, right. We won't go into that story where the Jelly Bean was and came from, went to.
He was my mechanic when I raced World Cup downhills for a while.
Let's move on quickly.
Yeah, Chris Roll says he loves the new channel. Thanks very much, Chris. Can't wait to see what's coming up. I'm contemplating an e-bike. Could you do a Kenevo versus Levo head-to-head, please? Yeah,
first of all, stop contemplating, just get on with it. And yeah, Levo versus Kenevo head-to-head is coming in the next few weeks. Keep an eye out.
Well, caption contest, Steve, was a picture of you falling off your bike going up a hill.
Yeah, next one's going to be a picture of you falling off, Don.
I haven't fallen off yet, touch wood. Roger Wells says, going into 2018, be like. Trailmaster says, e-bikes can't climb.
Yeah, but the winner this week is G. Ledesma, and I reckon that's going to be from Argentina, or Brazil. When you plan to brap, but end up with a dirt nap. Well done, Ledesma.
You win an EMBN. I always said GMBN, but it's actually EMBN. T-shirt, it'll be winging its way to you. Get in touch with us. Yeah. This week's caption contest photo is this.
This week's ghetto tech on EMBN is more like high tech, and with Kieran Page, who runs a guiding business in Pay, south of France. Kieran, what's this Tunnux wrapper doing on your battery?
It's actually a bit of a hack with a survival blanket.
Yeah.
Because when you get under 10 degrees with the battery life, you get a lot more electrical resistance. We put the wrapper on there to basically to send the heat that the battery generates and use back into itself. So it's just keeping the cells warm, and it gives you a little bit more battery life. Under 10 degrees, I've been able to measure between 5 and 7% extra battery.
5 and 7%, wow.
Yeah. Under 10 degrees.
Yeah, wow. So there you go, this week's Ghetto Tech.
But also this one, we asked the question last week about lubing your chain. Yeah. Ian Davis has got a brilliant little hack. He's got these sort of rollers that he chocks up his bat wheel on so he can spin it, clean his chain, lube it up, away you go.
I tell you what, I'm loving all this stuff, loving it.
Brilliant, keep sending them in.
Yeah. So the next part of the show, we've got some questions from you guys. Here's Lauren Van Rossum, no idea what country that's from. Given that there's a front flywheel, wouldn't it be interesting to try and lock the rear one? Maybe it allows shifting without pedaling, although I'm not sure if the chain would stay on.
So it's freewheel on, is it on all e-bikes? Definitely on the Shimano and the Specialized, so the chain will spin. I'm not so sure about the Bosch, I need to have a look at that. I should know that probably. I don't know. I think if you lock the cassette to the rear wheel, I think there's a good chance that the chain could maybe stick to it a little bit. I think it could potentially work with something like the old Honda downhill bikes. They had a freewheel inside the gearbox. And I think the rear wheel was actually not a freewheel, so the chain kept spinning.
Yeah.
So I think it's possible, but with a cassette and a rear Mac, I'm not sure it worked very well. The answer is, I don't know.
Actually, answer, Lawrence, is get back to us, try it out, and let us know your feedback. Simple as that.
Oh, that's a very good point. Oscar Lawbeer asks, do e-mountain bikes feel chunky and hard to manoeuvre?
Oh man, I love this one. So, here comes the kind of 20-minute edit. Jack, you still awake there, back in the background?
Not really,
Jack.
Well, actually,
Come on,
I
Jack.
did a video just yesterday on my downhill tips for an e-bike, and I talk about when the weight works against you slightly, but also when the weight works with you. So I wouldn't say they're hard to manoeuvre.
I'd say they're definitely not hard to move. I think it's all about the timing. It's a different timing to a bike without a motor. It's the same thing with, like, everyone says that hardtails teach you great skills. They don't teach you great skills. They just teach you different skills, right?
True.
The same with an e-bike, I think. It's just a different skill to riding a bike.
So in answer to your question, do they feel chunky and hard to manoeuvre? It's sort of a yes and a no. So we've not actually answered either of those questions that have been posed this week, Steve. So last week we asked you if you're a viewer epic rides, you want to see your pictures, want to hear your stories, and Piers has sent us this brilliant picture of his high bike hanging out in the Alps. Says he's been riding all over the Alps, and this is from Lach, which is South Tyrol, northern Italy, last summer, and that looks pretty epic to me. Check it out. I want to go and ride my bike there.
Yeah, so guys, please send in your epic rides. We want to hear from you, whether it's Tonnerre, Tindrum, Tweed Valley, or the Tyrol. Just get them in.
Or Telford.
Telford. Okay, it's the Bike Vault, last part of the show. Time to shut down, but before that, look at some pretty pictures of bikes, right?
Right, let's open up with Dan Jones. This is a Fantic Integra, 160 mile travel. It's got a Bros motor, I didn't know that.
Do you want me to bore you with a load of Fantic talk? Because Fantic used to be...
Is it a nice or is it a super nice?
I like the blue and red on it.
I think it looks great.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't got a horn, super nice. Oh, look at that. Ian Davis, Merida E160.
This looks like Offers Dyke area to me.
Is this geography or an e-bike?
It's a Merida 160, and that is one hell of a bike. That is a super nice bike.
Whoa, that's a lovely picture as well.
Love the tyres, love everything on it.
This is Jamie Ferguson, and he's up Helvellyn in, where is Helvellyn? Yorkshire, I presume.
Helvellyn's in the Lake District, for goodness sakes.
There it is.
Very nice.
Is it good enough for super nice, Steve?
I think it's very nice. The background's super nice.
Jono has just done 200 Ks in the first 4 weeks.
Sorry to stop you there. That's super nice, super nice, super nice location, super nice bike.
What bike is it? It's a Focus. I think it is.
Oh, look at that.
Looks
Where on
amazing.
earth is that?
Don't know. It's got to be Australia or something. Justin is in New Mexico and he's riding his high bike.
No, I don't think that's New Mexico. I think he's lying. I think that's Staffordshire.
Wow. Justin, Steve doesn't trust you.
Yeah,
It's nice. It's very nice.
yeah, very nice. That's somewhere in Wales, right?
It's Mark Lawrence and he's riding Cannock Chase.
Why am I looking at the caption?
Cube
Damn.
Stereo 140. That's nice. I like the way he's got his red little details and red grips and red mudguard. It's nice. Rob Alvarado, he says, sorry about the rear mudguard, you should be. And this is in rear
I
mudguard.
just seen it. Oh, that's a cracker, isn't it?
I'm sure rear mudguards are great, but they don't look great. You've got to say
It'll
that.
save you from cracking your balls, that's for sure, won't it?
This is in
It'll save you from
Ireland.
cracking that, sorry.
And that's the Lapierre Overvolt, just like Nicholas Video rides.
Yeah.
And he's got a GMBN mudguard on the
Oh,
front.
good lad.
Got to
Good
get
lad.
a super nice
Good
ride.
lad. Yeah.
That's the last picture.
I'm quite enjoying this.
Well, that's it, Steve.
Can we go to history next week?
No, it's all about the bikes and somewhat geography next week as well.
Yeah. Anyway, great, fantastic bikes. Thanks so much for posting them all in. Again, we're absolutely blown away by the amount of bikes and the amount of people out
loads,
there
mate.
who seem to be having a great time riding bikes.
Keep sending them to this email address on screen over here. So coming out this week, well, don't forget to follow us on social media. We're putting up loads of pictures and cool videos from our time here in the Riviera.
Yeah, don't be shy, get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. So coming up this week on EMBN is on Friday, how to get the most out of your EMTB.
And Sunday it's short versus long travel.
Oh, of course, that's where I got the short straw and I had to murder myself up and down that hill in Spain.
Yeah, it was great fun watching that, Steve.
Oh, God. Yeah, you got to watch that one.
Monday we've got a maintenance video, and then on Wednesday it's the EMBN show back from our
Brazil
studio, whatever our studio is called. What's it called? The EMBN shed, I don't know.
So, signing out from an absolutely soaking wet Sanremo.
Yeah, but stay here and watch some more videos. Click over here for an e-bike playlist.
And click down here from Epic Ride in Alicante.
Give us a subscription, so click on that button and give us a thumbs up if you like the EMBN show.
Great stuff.
And a geography lesson.
Yeah.